In my earlier videos, I demonstrated how I could train a model with NexusMax services for Excel and Power BI. Today, I will show you the way to not just train a model with NexusMax services for web, but also dive into some of the important aspects of model training, which are exploring the data, feature engineering, and more. For which I will first log into NexusMax. To begin with, the way to train a model with historical information is by creating a training pipeline. For this, I will click on Add a new project and give a desired project name. Now I will open the project. Then select one of the models for training. Since my target is to predict a customer is churning or not, I will select a classification model and name the pipeline as Customer Churn. NexusMax will now create a default pipeline for us with 3 stages connected. To begin with, here I can either source my data from Hadoop, or there are various other options such as local file, SQL, and more. For my current project, I will source the data from the local system, for which I will drag and drop the source widget on the canvas and connect to the next phase. Then I will choose the file from my local system. To store the configurations of my data for further use, I will click Next. Once again, I will click Next to move to Auto Feature Engineering phase. As you can see, Auto Feature Engineering is processing in the backend. In the next page, features of my data such as data type, null values, and other statistical description can be viewed. I even have option to toggle manual FE to transform the data to my convenience, which will be discussed in the next module. There is as well option to select percentage of sample data by sliding the bar. I will then click on Next to save configuration of Auto Feature Engineering phase. And finally, I will get to Configure Model Training phase, for which I will first select a label from the drop-down menu, which is that feature of my historical data that I would like to predict for future customers. I can even select the type of performance metric to optimize the model. Numter by default chooses accuracy score. I will then select the percentage of the data to train. Here I will choose 50% of my data. And finally, I will click Next to save my model training pipeline configuration. Once again, I will click Next to run the pipeline. With this, I now started executing my pipeline. NexusMax will now start building a cutting-edge machine learning model. Each phase of my pipeline will be executed in sequence. During the execution phase, you can also see the progress of the same from the graphs displayed. While in the backend, NexusMax services is mechanized to track the best model among all the other machine learning classification models. My model training is now completed in a couple of minutes with no code experience. NexusMax services chose the best model among 18 other classification models. I also get to view the performance of my model as well with metrics such as accuracy, F1 score, and more. There are other statistical inferences that I can make with the graphs displayed. I can even retrain the model by adjusting my percentage of data. Now that I finished my model training, in the next module I will demonstrate how I will be using my pre-built model to predict churn of my current customers using NexusMax services. For any further queries, you can reach us out here. Thank you for watching.